Let's say you just bought a new nice mirrorless camera like this Fujifilm X-E2. Means you bought into a system of lenses. In this case, Fuji has a nice lineup of lenses, some primes, a couple of zooms. It's going to add more in the coming next few months, but this is a lineup which is probably not yet complete, missing some very long telephotos, wide-angle zooms, tilt-shift lenses, macro, that kind of things. So what can you do? Especially what can you do if you, like me, have just sold off your DSLR. I sold my Nikon D90, but you still have some nice lenses like this 85 1.8, 35 1.8, 11-16 f2.8. This is a Tokina lens, very good, very sharp, bright. What can you do? Well, you can sell them off on eBay, buy Fuji lenses, or wait for compatible similar ones to come out. Or you can get an adapter. And this is what I did. I got this adapter here made by a company called Metabones. They make different types of adapters which allow you to mount Nikon, Canon, Leica, Zeiss, Contax, Minolta lenses on mirrorless bodies. And they have different features, different characteristics. And in particular, this one is the Nikon G to Fuji X mount. Why Nikon G? Because the Nikon G version has an adapter ring, an aperture ring. You see, there's an aperture ring here. This is important if you want to use Nikon G lenses on your mirrorless body. Nikon G lenses are lenses that don't have an aperture ring. Here's an example. This is the 35 f1.8 DX AFS G lens. G means no aperture ring. The aperture of the lens is controlled electronically by the camera. And of course this will not work with a camera which is not Nikon, which is not compatible. You cannot couple electronically the two. So with this adapter that has an aperture ring, you will be able to change the aperture on the lens even if it's a G lens. And if you get the similar product, it's called the Nikon F adapter, you will not be able to use G lenses. So that's why I have a couple of G lenses, and that's why I got this adapter. So how does this work? Let's get my Fuji X-E2. I'm removing its lens and I'm putting the adapter in its place. So we just align the dots, give it a twist, and it's on. And let's take this lens. You align the dots, the white dot on the lens with the red marker on the adapter, you twist, and there it is. Now you can set the aperture on the lens using this ring. So let's take a photo. I'm setting the aperture to the widest one, which is f1.8. Framing, focusing, and taking a photo. Looks good. Notice that I focus it manually. That's because this adapter does not support autofocus. You need electronic coupling between the camera and the lens for these autofocus lenses to actually work. But Fuji, the Fuji X series, especially the X-E2, the X100S, they have this wonderful mechanism which allow you to manually focus and to enhance the display using focus peaking or the split image mode that makes manual focusing quite easy and pleasant to use. So even with this lens, which was not really designed for manual focusing, it's designed for autofocusing, you can still get good results focusing manually. Let's try another lens. I'm going to plug this one. This is the 85 f1.8D lens, AFD. It's autofocus, but it's not G, so it has an aperture ring. I'm going to mount it, And when you mount this type of lens, you have to be careful. You cannot set the aperture on the lens. You need to set the aperture on the adapter. And you need to set the aperture on the lens to the smallest one, in this case f16. So again, focusing manually, I'm using focus picking. Okay. Photo. And got a very nice blurry background with this lens at f1.8. It's wonderful. What else? This lens, this is a 50mm 1.4. This lens was made around 1977. I used that lens on my old Nikon film body. And this is what is called a pre-AI lens. AI is a mechanism that Nikon introduced around 1977, 1978 for coupling the lens to the camera. This lens was built before that, so it's a pre-AI lens. Now, you cannot mount pre-AI lenses on Nikon digital SLR bodies. They won't work, they won't even mount, you risk damaging the camera. So actually, I had this lens, and I also had this one, this is a 200f4, but I could not use them on my D90. Now, with this adapter, I'm still able to, I'm giving new life to these lenses. I'm still able to use them on my Fuji body. That's great. So let's do that. I'm going to take this one off, put 50 on, aperture to f16, set the aperture on the adapter. Take an image. Here we go. Or even the 200f4. This is a very sharp lens. I like it. Well, there you go. Aperture to f32, and doesn't focus very close, but there you go. You can actually mount any lens, any Nikon lens on this adapter. Especially if you have, like in this case, in this example, you have a lens which is quite large and heavy. This is not very large, but it's pretty heavy. It's all metal and glass. But if you have like a 70 to 200, it's going to be quite heavy. And especially if you're mounting on a tripod, you don't want to mount the camera on the tripod, because all the weight will be held by the camera itself. So with the heavy lens in front, you risk damaging the mount. You don't want to put any stress on it. This adapter luckily comes with a foot. And this is an Arca Swiss compatible foot. You can mount it on Arca Swiss plate. It also has a screw mount here, so you can mount it on top of any tripod. I can use it with my Manfrotto quick release plate on my Manfrotto tripod. And if you mount the lens here, all the weight will be held by the adapter, and the camera will be dangling off the adapter lens combination, and there will be no stress placed on the mount on the camera side. So that works really well. If you want, you can even remove the foot if it gets in the way. There are two screws here that you can use it to remove. So, final words. I think it's a very good product. This costs about $130. You can get it on the Metabones website. I'm going to put the address on the video. And well, I think it's all mechanical. It's very well built, solid metal, quite heavy. There is no glass here. There are no optics, so there is absolutely no image degradation. Those lenses work exactly as well as they worked on my old DSLR. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.